All right, welcome everyone. Give it about one more minute and then we'll go ahead and get started. All right, Judy, you ready to go?
Let me minimize my screen.
And then Judy, you have to walk us through the formalities because you know I don't remember.
Yeah, and we just gonna pray for patience tonight to make sure we do this right. Okay, so on the agenda, do you guys have it up, Monet? The agenda, or you have
Just the meeting.
I have just the meeting up right now since
you
I'm
have the meeting up?
since
You
I'm
want me
sharing.
to just go ahead with the agenda
Yeah.
without you guys seeing it? Okay. All right. So what we have to do is call the meeting to order, President.
Um, I'd like to call this meeting to order today on 4/15/2021,
And 6:02.
6:02.
All righty. All right. All right. I'm going to call roll. Myself, present. Monet, Candace,
Present.
Denise,
Present.
Bianca.
Present.
All right. 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 5 total. Why isn't that 5? Okay, there we go. All right. Now, do we have any first time guests tonight? And Bianca, you're me. So everything you see me doing tonight, that's what you're going to be doing. Okay. Do we have any new guests? Yes, no, no. Going once.
We have Mia Lyons.
Mia Lyons. Welcome, Mia Lyons. All right. Is that all we have tonight? Any more? All right. So we have Miss Mia Lyons. All right. So we're going to go to item number 3, review and approval of the agenda.
Is that me?
Yes, ma'am.
I'm not sure what I say here.
Okay. Here you want to have a call for a motion for approval of the agenda for tonight.
I'd like to call a motion to approve the agenda for this evening, 4:15. All in favor?
Call it. Somebody from the group has to.
So you
Call-
want someone, yeah, you want someone to go ahead. So one person that's one of the officers needs to say I motion, and then Judy, the secretary, that indicates who that was. And then you say, can I get a second? And then that person will say I second. And then we do a motion carries. Is this the right page though? Who's got the can we
So
go to that?
yeah, I think we have to show the agenda.
Yeah.
And hi, Genevieve. Thank you for coming.
And that'll be easier to see. Yeah, once we
Yeah.
get to that, keep going. Let's see. Okay, yep, go. Uh-huh. You already did your guest.
Yes, ma'am.
And then go up. There we go. So do we have a motion to approve? So
I motion to approve.
there we go.
Who was that?
Denise.
Denise.
And so it's a DW for Denise Woods. And then Candace, you'll say, do we have a second?
And do we have a second?
I
So-
motion to approve.
Is that Monet?
Yes.
Okay.
And then Judy will do a roll call.
All right. Roll call. Myself, A. Yay. Monet Gaston.
Yay.
Candace Branch.
Yay.
Denise Woods.
Hey.
Bianca Brown.
All right, and then Candace, you say motion carries.
Motion carries.
Moving on to item number 4, invitation to the public to address the president. I think this should be address the board, by the way, Judy.
Just the board?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I would read that one.
Yeah,
You-
you're gonna read it.
I'm
and
reading through the agenda and then,
Judy does the secretary will do the roll call. Yep.
okay.
Uh-huh.
So we are on number 4, invitation to the public to address the board.
And Dr. Renty, what does this actually mean? Does this mean that anyone coming to the meeting that wants to say something can say something? And then what do we do? Do we take notes to what they say, or how do we do that part?
Yeah, that's great. So you can, so you'll say, was there an invitation to the public? So this is their time to speak. Generally speaking, it's up to the board whether they want to allow them to speak off of the agenda. It's usually a comment on something that's on the agenda.
Gotcha.
And
Okay.
so they can say, hey, this item is coming up and I'm in a disagreement and I want the world to know that I disagree. Okay, what are your disagreements? We give you 2 minutes. And
But
you
it's,
talk. Mm-hmm.
Dr. Renzi, it's typically in reference to the agenda because they've gotten it earlier.
Absolutely. They should have it
Okay,
ahead of time. Uh-huh.
okay,
At least 2 days would be ideal. Post it. Like on your guys's
Dojo.
Deb's Dojo website, send it out early and then they'll come in and comment on the agenda.
Okay.
Mhm.
When you say website, Dr. Renty, you mean our Reach website?
Yeah, do we have an APAC page? Because if we don't, we can work on that. We do. So maybe on your page you can post your agenda too.
Okay.
That's recommended.
Candace, can you make a note about that so we can check into that?
Yeah, put on there. Yeah.
Okay, good. All right.
All right, since we don't have any of those, any reports? This would be our discussion on our vision statement.
Yes.
And so Candace, that has your name. So is there something you want us to pull up? And I think you guys are going to work through the vision statement. Is that what you're doing today?
Well, we have in sorts, but not through this template.
You want me to pull
So
up the
I
page?
think the question that we had, Dr. Renty, was Candace was sharing with us earlier that when she was doing research, she saw another APAC school and they had their mission statement and vision statement as one. Do you want a vision statement and a separate mission statement for the APAC, or do you want it combined?
You guys can do whatever you want and it's easier to combine. If that works for you, then go in that route. Go that direction.
So we have some commentary around that on our agenda slides that we'll talk about. So can we table that for now?
So then you want to go ahead and, yeah, you can table it. You're going to go to the next report item, the next discussion item.
Thank you. So I guess here's where we can kind of slide over. So this is our agenda essentially that we're walking through here. So we'll move over to those slides,
We can go.
Monet, if that's okay.
Okay.
Thank you. So again, thank you everyone for joining today. The goals of our meeting, if you'll slide over to the next slide, Monet. Our agenda items for today is 1, to announce and introduce our new secretary, Bianca Brown. Thank you for joining.
Yeah.
And congratulations.
Hi, everyone. Thank you.
Awesome.
Yeah, and then also we'll talk around some of the ideas we formed with our vision statement and get any feedback, commentary so that we can build out a cohesive vision statement, mission statement that really speaks to our goals. Our family enrichment project for APAC. So Ms. Judy has worked very diligently on a project that is benefiting our students through reading enhancement. And we'll talk more about that and some of the assistance we'll need there. We also have a Facebook group and parent communication that we're going to talk through some more and what that will look like and the support we'll need there. And lastly, some summer events and ideas that we've discussed and want to share with the group. Next slide. So again, welcome, Bianca.
Yay.
Thank you, everyone. Hi.
Yes. So when thinking about APAC, the things that we found most important and that we really want to spend time with are encompassed in these three circles that you see here. And the reason we chose this particular artwork, if you will, is because they need to overlap. They don't live separate and apart, and they really have to be done together. And we want to focus in on reading comprehension, math, and as well as parent leadership commitment and peer-to-peer engagement and what that looks like. From speaking as the president, I would say the peer-to-peer engagement, really building a community with our students so that they do feel like they can reach out to one another for matters that are sensitive to their cultural background, right? To really have that community within the school. Parent leadership and commitment. We have to take ownership as parents and really be 100% involved in our students' day-to-day interactions, as well as their learning processes. And then we want to see success in their academics ultimately, right? That's one of the largest goals here. And we really want to focus in on reading comprehension and math. Those two areas we find to be extremely helpful for progressing the students forward. So in that, the vision statement is to support the academic and social emotional growth of African American students. And what that looks like, we'll kind of talk through as we continue through these slides as to what we have ideas around now. Monet, if we don't have any comments. So our next agenda topic was the Family Enrichment Project. Miss Judy, if you'll speak more to this slide and kind of what we need there and what we've done already and our next steps, that'd be great.
What we've decided is that the Family Enrichment Project, which is titled A Family That Reads Together, Grows Together, we're going to launch it this summer, along with some other things that we've put ideas that have been put on paper. And so what I need right now are family volunteers from the AAPAC to volunteer to get us started as far as putting the AR scoring in the books, help me put the packets together, put the labels on them, put them on a spreadsheet so that we can check them out, know who has them, so we'll know who needs to return what on what day and that sort of thing. But in the beginning, I'm going to need a couple families to test it out to see how we want to work it out by having you guys pick a book and do the project at home to see if we can get all the kinks out ahead of time before we actually give the kits to the parents this summer to use and borrow. So I just need some families from the AAPAC present right now to volunteer and say, hey, when the packets are ready, I'm willing to take a book and read it with my child, answer the questionnaires, take some pictures, and then submit them to us so that we can send them to the donors and thank the donors for their donations for the books. And then this summer, based on the survey that I will include with the package, you guys can tell us what we can do to make it efficient, make it more fun, or any suggestions or ideas so that before we launch it this summer, we've got all the kinks out and we're ready to go. So that's it.
All right, and we already have some volunteers.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
We do.
Thank you, Miss Judy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they wrote in
That.
chat.
Oh, they're in the chat?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I gave my email out to follow up with those explicit details, Judy, as to what we'll need for the volunteers.
Oh, thanks, volunteers already. Woo, there you go.
I'd also like to volunteer to help put together the packets and also volunteer my family for testing it out.
All right.
Nice.
Thank you, Bianca. Thank you, guys. I'll write all this information down.
Okay. Anything else, Judy, wanted to add?
Nope. That's it.
Great.
Okay.
Great. And so moving through, our next objective is to get our Facebook group established. I have reached out to Reach directly, and that should be coming in the next few days, where we'll have our own Facebook page through the Reach Facebook page. So I think it'll be linked in a way. Full details still to come, but these are our goals to, kind of have it in a platform that most use, to kind of create that, buzz like social media can around student engagement and parent involvement. That's our ultimate goal. We'll also be sending out reminders on Class Dojo and text messages as well to make sure any events or meetings you guys are fully aware of, okay? So yeah, that's pretty much all we had to say there. Again, more information to come on the Facebook group. Obviously, like, join, and do all that once established.
Candace, I spoke
Yes.
to Rachel. I spoke to Rachel today, and we wanted to have the page, the group set up by today, but we ran into some glitches because what we want is we want our Facebook group linked to Reach.
Yeah.
And the way we were going about it, just setting it up, wouldn't let us do that. And so Rachel and I are going to sit tomorrow because I think one of the requirements was it needed to be an administrator from the school that had to be included. And we needed to talk to Dr. Renty first before we jump into that and get her vote in on how she wants it set up. It has to be set up a certain kind of way through the school so that it's linked up to the school and that there's an administrator included in the entry of setting it up. So he and I are going to work tomorrow to get those questions to Dr. Renty, how Dr. Renty wants it set up so that it's linked to the school because we are representing the school, and to follow the proper procedures according to Facebook and their requirements. So that's the only reason why it wasn't set up for today. Yeah, and she and I are going to meet tomorrow because she's actually quite busy with the lottery, and next week she's going to be extremely busy. So she's giving me a little time tomorrow so we can try to get this up before our next fundraiser that's coming up, the Jogathon. That's the goal.
It shouldn't take very long, Judy. If we can just set aside about maybe 30 minutes, we can get it done.
Thank you for your support. And yeah, no problem, Judy. And I'll be up there tomorrow as well, so I'll be able to connect.
Okay.
Okay, and next slide. So I'll pass the mic over to Denise regarding our goals for the summer events and what that potentially looks like. I mean, Denise, you correct me if I'm wrong, but you guys are welcome to speak up in the audience if you have any questions, suggestions, things like that. We like to use this time as an open forum while respecting the time allotted. So thank you.
Yeah, so we talked about this a little bit during our last meeting, is what are some things we can kind of do to get the word spreading about our organization and start to engage more families to get involved and just kind of understand the purpose of what we're trying to do. And so it was mentioned maybe a couple of events over the summer could be a good starting point. Especially since a lot of kids are still remote. And I know my son is new to the school, has been completely remote for the whole year. So it's an idea of just bringing together kids over the summer, connecting them, kind of doing a pilot to see how we could bring not only students together, but families as well, and connections through reading and making reading fun. So one of the ideas was to have kind of kick off a book club that every month we would have different themes or topics. And if we had a specific theme, we would try to find grade appropriate books for that theme. And then we would bring folks together, bring kids together to talk about the book and answer questions and or do fun activities. So one of the ideas was to kind of do, you know, here in the Empire, it gets so hot over the summer. But we were thinking about maybe doing like water balloon fight or water gun fight or something like that, where it's a water activity, maybe after folks get off work in the evening from 6 to 7:30, and maybe either start it off with doing kind of small groups with the age appropriate book or theme. Even for the first one, we could just do themes or however we decide, or maybe it is a reading circle to bring folks to let the kids come together and just read in the circle and have kind of a moderator or somebody to kind of help facilitate the discussion. And then after the session of the book review or theme review, then we would have kind of some structured games play with the water balloons or something of that sort. Maybe we could do some obstacle courses or something like that. That would be really fun. So that way we're just bringing the students together. We're also, you know, getting the parents out, parents starting to talk to other parents and just trying to really make it fun. So that was one idea that was brought up during the last time. And then the other one was to maybe do a movie night. And with the movie night, have it based on the book or the theme, and have the movie, you know, kind of follow up with that theme. So again, having small groups talk about the book on site. And maybe we have like the questions or something like that that we ask folks to take home or to do with the book. And then when we bring everyone together, we could even have a larger discussion, have music and stuff like that. And then after, we would have the movie outdoors on a screen, and just make it a really fun time. Folks could bring their own snacks and things like that, or we could even have food trucks there if we wanted to, or we could do like box lunches from Jersey Mike's or Subway or something like that, where folks it could almost turn into an opportunity to kind of maybe a small fundraiser if we wanted to. Folks bought their box lunches, buy box lunches. And then they could just bring a blanket and we just sit on the floor or sit on the ground and have this movie night. So it's another just opportunity for families to connect, to see each other, and kind of get into this mode of, okay, this is fun. My kid really looks forward to it. Kind of gives the parents some reprieve, you know, because the kids are able to play with other kids and connect and whatnot. So these were just two ideas for the summer that came up. And maybe we can't do both. Maybe we just choose one or the other. But this is just kind of what was talked about last time. And the items needed, we may need more items in this. I know it was mentioned that we could use the campus to do this. We may also want to consider doing it at a local park to expose families to the different parks that are in Riverside, because there are quite a few. But maybe just having like bottled water available, because it does get so hot in the summer with ice, and maybe, you know, having some water balloons or toys or whatever the case may be, either donated or maybe we have to purchase some of those. It could be really fun, both of these. So would love to hear any feedback that anyone has, and if there are other ideas that we can think of that might be a nice connection over the summer, just to kind of build the steam, build the momentum and the excitement. We'd love to hear them.
Correct. And I'd like to also add to what Denise already mentioned is, you know, we wanted to start with the summer activities to mitigate some of the learning loss that many of our children will just be victims of during the summer. So we thought that reading and engagement would be a great opportunity to, you know, make sure that we kind of shorten that gap if possible. So more details to come. We just wanted to bring these at least to the meetings and get some feedback from parents, understand if this is something you would be, you know, interested in. If you have more feedback, we're obviously going to need, small committees. We'd like for our parents to be able to jump in, jump out. You help on this project, you might not have to help on the next project. We want to be respectful of your time and all that, but still, as we mentioned earlier in that vision, getting that commitment from you to engage with the students and their learning. So Denise, thank you so much. This is the end of our action agenda. Yes.
We had one person bring an idea up in the chat. You want to explain your suggestion?
Oh, I didn't see it.
I just thought that, not all of those things could be purchased with from Donors Choose, but we certainly could use Donors Choose to get, especially if it's a little more planned out, like we know exactly what the event's going to look like and what we need, things like water toys for sure. And sometimes you're able to even get gift cards. So we could potentially, the other thing I was thinking is that something like Target might be willing to donate gift cards. So we might look at local businesses or bigger businesses to get gift cards for those kinds of things.
That's a good idea.
I saw Target advertising their donations. So yes, they are. If you have Cartwheel, they'll show you where they make all their donations to their local cities. So I think they definitely should. That's a great idea. Thank you. And, we'll be looking for more feedback as we get closer to rolling these out. My goals are to also communicate through Facebook, obviously with the school members to get the engagement there. So Dr. Renty, as far as like posting and all that, maybe we can talk offline. Would we be able to do that with the students? Or is there any waivers that the families would have to sign?
And posting what? What were you thinking of?
Like if the kids are at the event or what have you, posting their pictures and whatnot. Or is that?
Yeah, we already have media releases, and so
okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
So we would know which pictures to post, and Judy
okay.
can, Judy can walk you guys through that as well. Yep.
Okay, awesome.
Not a problem.
Thank you. Yeah, outside of that, this was our agendas items for today. Did I miss any slides? But I think this is it.
I think you got everything.
Okay, thank you.
Comments or feedback on the summer events that anyone wanted to mention?
Did anyone want to say anything about the ideas that we have, the summer events? Any of you parents or teachers?
All right, I jump in about Facebook. Somebody was mentioning the reading comprehension. I thought it would be a good idea to, with the way our people are so prideful, to maybe have some of the parents who have success stories turning their kids' reading comprehension and math scores around. Maybe they would be more inclined to jump in and share stories, and then I would get some engagement started instead of only, focusing on the kids who aren't doing so well.
So you think share success stories?
Yeah. That's
of things that are working, for example.
Mm-hmm.
I guess a little more context would be helpful for me to understand.
Mr. Dion, where'd you go?
Oh yeah. Sounds like a good idea. I couldn't hear.
Mr. Dion, are you still there? Can you hear us? Maybe not. Oh, his mic just went off, so I guess not.
It sounded as though he was suggesting that we also share the positive stories that we have regarding reading comprehension and mathematics with our within the Facebook group, and maybe we can talk with him offline about what that looks like.
Yeah, and I think he mentioned that it would be helpful to hear from other parents. Like,
what's helping? Oh, what's helping?
Oh,
maybe like a Reddit board, if you will, on our page of, hey, this is what I implemented. and it
Mhm.
seems to have really helped,
Right,
of
right.
course. Yeah.
Maybe
Yeah.
like best practices from,
Yeah, that's sorry, my audio cut out.
Okay. Awesome.
But yeah, it's exactly what I was saying. To have more success stories, and that would be able to start some engagement. You know, if parents who are having problems could kind of identify with the problems that people who had success stories had, and then could maybe chime in, and we'd be able to get more discussion started that way instead of only looking out for the problem students or the students who needed help to start.
Understood.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
Certainly.
Um,
With it, within the book club idea, we've talked around kind of that peer to peer, like, you being able to share in that same way, Mr. Dion, the successes, and perhaps pulling one up that may need the help. And I really would love to see that within the students doing it, right? Not just the parents. There's a lot of studies out there that show um, parents can try to be as influential as possible, but our children truly learn from them, from their peers. And so once we are able to build that community within the peers of, like you said, success stories, I think it'll continue to trickle through.
One other thing, Candace, to piggyback off of that, maybe another idea to kind of think about the parent support, because I think that's a really good point that Aaron brought up is, a lot of times parents, feel overwhelmed with everything that they're, having to juggle, and or, if their child is having some challenges in the classroom or otherwise. And so maybe it could be something down the road where we put together kind of like a parent support group. And it can be either in person or via Zoom. I know it's hard to, after folks work for a full day and then also have like another event. So I don't know how we can maybe think about this going into fall. Maybe it's some once a month thing, or once a quarter, just like a parent check-in. And parents maybe before can submit ideas on, maybe some of the challenges they're having, or share success stories of things that have worked. And maybe we can poll the parents to say, has your child had challenges in reading, or challenges with math or behavior or any of those things, and have you tried different things and something has really worked well, would you mind sharing with other parents? It could just be another opportunity to engage the parents, and once they feel connected, then they're more likely to bring their kids out as well. So kind of hitting it from two angles, one where we're trying to engage the kids with the books and the themes and peer-to-peer, and then on the other side, the parental peer-to-peer is also very critical. So
Yep. Agreed.
If I could
you
chime in on
guys
that,
think,
oh, sorry.
go ahead, Bianca, go ahead.
Just off of Denise's idea about the kind of parent support group, maybe involving the Facebook page and kind of having like a group thread with parents that want to jump in, so that it's kind of on demand and on the parents' time, instead of it having to be, or it could be like in conjunction with that, with the Zoom meeting, so that parents can kind of go in and read and maybe throw questions or ideas out there, and then other parents are able to add on and read at their own time.
Hmm. So Bianca, you have been elected to help host our Facebook page. So hopefully we can get
Yeah.
some beautiful dialogue started there.
Okay.
I would like to say that, formalities are definitely always good, but to your point, like allowing parents to jump in and jump out when they can, is going to be super critical for our success. And, parents, please stop me. I know me personally, uh, when I can go in, check in and check out, it's great. So, you know, diversifying, I think is the biggest thing there
Do you
as
guys
to how we
think that
communicate.
we could create a survey to send out to all the parents? Basically asking a lot of pertaining to Mr. Dion's point and Denise's point, how do they feel about having a support group, this is kind of like one.
I
Um,
was thinking that we could do it here, but
yeah.
is it not the forum?
No, I think it is the forum.
I think if we can get more parents for sure, yeah.
Yeah, but I think if we did a survey, an overall survey, asking a lot of the points that you all brought up tonight, and then we can just say off the cuff, Monet's has some really good tips. Well, we'll find out in that survey, because right now we don't know which children are doing really well and what are the parents doing to help them. If we did a survey, maybe the survey would help us narrow down, who we can go to, or who we could have as guest speakers to come to our Zoom meeting and give our parents some pointers. You see what I'm saying? Or do you think that I don't know if word of mouth will be, I don't know. What do you guys think?
I was thinking, I mean, a survey could be good just to maybe ask parents, what will they participate in? I think that is something that I know Candace mentioned last meeting. I mean, how do we get them engaged? I mean, another idea I just had, but people may not be into this, is a parent book club. Like, we pick different books on, how to, motivate our children or just help them overcome barriers, or, it's a whole new generation that a lot of us are, we're parenting in.
Yeah.
And so even having a book club for parents to just talk about some of these issues, and it encourages us to read. We're showing our kids that we're reading. And I know I don't nearly read as much, as I'd like to. So, would parents be interested in something like that? Or, to other points, maybe parents just do want to get in and out. I think there needs to be some level of engagement or commitment or just participation.
Certainly.
So we have to find that balance, but I think having, putting it out there, like, what all will bring you in to participate more and really be a part of it.
I'll put an action item, you guys, down for like a Survey Monkey, unless you guys have a different platform in which you ask questions.
I
So
think
basically trying to get the kind of what the parents want. What do parents want? Survey.
What parents want, and maybe what topics are their interested. To Judy's point, I mean, maybe there are certain themes or trends that we're seeing across families with either math or comprehension or so on and so forth. And maybe we can then ask a guest speaker to come to this meeting and talk about that, or to something else, and, give their expertise to help us.
Yeah, because if we know, like, say 90% of the parents want a workshop on math, then we know what to work in that area. And another percentage say, well, we need tips on reading comprehension. We can bring somebody in for that. Or like Mr. Dion said, parents that are having children that are doing successful come on the Zoom and share what they're doing at home to help their child with reading comprehension or that sort of thing. So I think that the survey would really help give us direction at because I think if we're advertising meetings for things that they want, they'll come to the meetings.
Yeah.
Okay, so I've got that down. To answer your question, Candace, we make our surveys.
Okay.
Oh, Dr. Renti, are you there? Is she here? I don't want to.
I'm here. I'm here. Yeah, I'm here. What was the question?
We're trying to figure out how we could create a survey so we can put the questions out there to the parents, so we can get a feel for what they want and what they need, so that we can start including that in our meetings. And we were talking about surveys, making surveys. We normally, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if
we can get help with.
Yeah,
if it's going to be on Zoom. Oh, sorry.
If we just know, sorry, it's okay. Sorry, Candace. If we just know the questions you want to ask, we can get the survey done. I might be answering that question wrong. What were you going to say, Candace?
Oh, I was just going to say, yeah, if it's during our meetings, we can use forms, and people can scan it with their phone, and we could do it right here and now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was just wondering what platform we would use and how we would send it out, but that can be discussed later. Mm-hmm. Certainly. I have it down as a action item for us.
I want to add that, just hearing all the different ideas that are, that may be set in place soon, I'm very excited about it. Another way I was thinking in my head to get people to be more willing to participate is like when I picked up my son today, it was something tangible that was given out for tutoring. Even though it didn't apply to him, but at least it was something tangible for someone to see and really say, okay, this is something that, it didn't apply to him, like I said, but it was something tangible for parents to actually see and have in their hand to remind them of whatever activities is taking place. So I think that's a good idea to get families more willing, or to remind them, to get them to participate in the various activities. Because I think these ideas is very excellent, and I'm definitely looking forward to participating in them.
Well, welcome, by the way.
Thank you. An idea kind of popped in my head as you were speaking was just like we give the books, right, for tools towards success. One thing that my son uses a ton is Legos. And while it seems like a game, I really see how it impacts his learning. He uses the thought process of building towards his math, towards all those things. So even if we started doing like you win the Legos because you've participated in this particular event, where yes, it's a toy essentially, but it's a learning focused toy. In my family, that's kind of the only kind of toys you get.
I'll do it. Study your words. Put it down. Out. Go study your spelling words, Diane, please.
Go ahead, Candace.
Oh no, that was it. I was just thinking that was just one of those ideas that I wanted to kind of get out while I had it. So.
Legos.
I mean, it kind of go along with the Legos idea too. I mean, something to think about down the line. Another idea would be to maybe have kind of like learning circles or learning groups led by, African-American students in college. Like UCR is right across the street, and, there are local junior colleges and, state schools, San Bernardino's up the road. But we might be able to get like, a student that's in engineering that wouldn't mind coming to either volunteer or, take a stipend or something to just do some type of, activity with the kids once a month or something for the kids to look forward to around Legos or a science project or something like that. Just something else to consider, another idea.
To go along with those ideas, I know it's been mentioned in past meetings, and I don't know how like realistic it may be, but maybe something along the lines of like a pin or some sort of lanyard for the students. And that way, when they kind of see each other around campus, they can kind of identify with each other and kind of know that it kind of goes with the peer engagement and kind of seeing that they belong to a certain community and understanding like, hey, we both do this thing together, maybe we can hang out here, or were you at the last meeting, and kind of help them build that community even outside of our Zoom meetings and outside of our events that we have going on, help them build that way on campus. I don't really know what cost effective, like something like that we could do, but I feel like it might be a really cool idea.
And it'll also draw kids who don't have one. How did you get
Exactly.
that?
Yeah. And then it gets them to talk about it, and then maybe even something for the parents kind of, and it's kind of like, hey, my kid does that. You might run into somebody at the grocery store with that lanyard, and it kind of builds that community outside of a scheduled time where we all sit down and meet each other, and it can kind of spread word of mouth without having to put so much legwork in,
Yep.
Yeah, get it. That's a good idea too.
Amazing idea. Thank you, Bianca. That's awesome.
We'll look into that.
Certainly.
Else? Jotting all these good things down.
All right. Judy, you want me to hop back to the agenda?
Yeah. Okay,
So those slides.
hop on mines.
So it says approval of consent items, meeting minutes.
Okay,
It is recommended that Reach APAC approve meeting minutes, comments, and notes. So I guess perhaps we click this link to approve the minutes,
mm-hmm.
or I need a motion to approve it.
These are the ones.
Right. So what should
Oh,
have happened?
those would,
Yeah, they should have, so the board should have reviewed the minutes ahead of time, but if you want to click it, you can. And then you just do a motion. Uh-huh.
okay.
A motion to approve.
The minutes from, I second that motion.
Right. Myself, Judy Jenkins, yes. Monet Gascon, oh, wait, my ex didn't make it. Okay. Monet Gascon. Monet,
Hey, did you hear me?
no, I'm sorry. Candace,
Hey,
Denise Woodward,
Hey,
Bianca Brown.
Yes.
Okay. Motion carried. Okay. We're going to go into that and look at it, or we're good? We're going to move on.
mhm.
All right. Item number 7, APAC comments. Anyone have any comments they'd like to add to our meeting tonight? Now, I wrote down all the things we talked about, so we'll add all of that to the minutes. But is there anything else anyone like to add?
Like I think I mentioned this earlier, but Marietta, APAC, I thought they did a very good job representing what looks like a great vision and also involvement. So if anyone has an opportunity to check out their site for more ideas and just kind of how they've structured it, I think it's a great kind of soft landing to see how others have gone about it. Just sharing.
And I have a question. Candace, do you have any like engagement with that group?
I
Or
don't. I
look into it?
No, I haven't. They had some advertisements for it was a high school group, so it wasn't exactly what we, because they were doing like the HBCU tour. They had like a step team. So it looked like kind of what I had in high school was BSU, the Black Student Union. It looked very reminiscent of that, but it was definitely labeled APAC.
I only ask because maybe not immediately while we're getting our footing, but maybe in future, we could reach out to other APAC communities and kind of merge events and
Exactly.
build a bigger community that way.
Exactly. I'm in 100% agreement. Not the so I guess maybe we move to adjourn the meeting at this juncture, Judy.
Okay. All right. Go ahead. You can call for an adjournment.
I'd like to adjourn the meeting.
a motion.
A motion to
Yeah, a motion. I was gonna say a motion to approve, I guess.
help me out.
I think tell the time as well.
Okay, 6:50.
Who
PM.
second? Who second? You did, Candace?
I second.
Oh,
Oh.
Monet.
Thank you, Mom.
Okay. And what time is it?
6:50.
6:50.
Mhm.
All right. We got parents in and out within an hour. Woo-hoo!
Alrighty.
All
Our
right.
next meeting date, which is actually our final one for the school year, is May 20th, Thursday, May 20th.
So with that being the last one for the school year, how do we proceed? I guess we can use the Facebook page for the summer events.
Mhm.
Yes.
Great. Thank you, everyone.
And there's no reason why we couldn't, you know, if we needed to hold a meeting or a Zoom meeting before an event to get everybody or call people that want to volunteer and, you know, get all that. So we can probably do a lot of that planning at the next meeting. I'm gonna close
All
it.
right.
Dr. Renty, you have anything you want to say? You good?